in financing government deficit by foreign borrowings. So then you are left with domestic savings. Now, if you have constraints on financing the fiscal deficit, then you need to limit it to some number. But I am entirely with you that if this country needs faster growth, therefore lots of more money for education, health, water, agriculture, and why not run up 7% of GDP as fiscal deficit, I am perfectly comfortable with it, provided we have credible mechanisms of funding it. Currently, we don't seem to have them in horizon, because if you have savings ratio of only 30%, half of it in physical savings, half of it in financial saving, and much of that if you appropriate by way of government borrowing, then there is very little available for private sector investment. So if you want to avoid the crowding out phenomenon, then allow foreign investors to participate. So let's say if we raise sovereign bonds in the international market, and if we are not very touchy about that, and if annually some $30–40 billion worth of assets, bonds can be floated abroad, sure we can run up a deficit of 7%, no problem.
Thank you.
So right now, but there is this political constraint also.
Yes.
The same BJP who is talking a lot on this, on the fiscal, medium-term fiscal path, that document prides itself by saying that 90% of fiscal deficit is financed by domestic resources. So if you have to be proud of financing fiscal deficit from domestic sources, then you have to limit the number to what you can finance. And that number seems to be less than 4%. That's all. So it's a supply of money constraint, not the demand of money constraint.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
If anyone else. Sir, in terms of infrastructure growth, I read an article by the CEO of HCC, Hindustan Construction Company. He said that if we want to go in the line of infrastructure growth in this sector, the first thing which the government has to do is the clearing of the backlogs which it already has, and he has given some big numbers for it. So, how do you think the government would be able to satisfy these backlogs? Because he raised out somewhere around 3,500 crores of backlog for his own company.
Right. In fact, I also get some similar numbers like this from L&T. You know, I do some training programs from L&T, and this seems to be a very big thorny question, quite frankly. All the infrastructure projects which are done on PPP mode, there is some money due from some agency of the government. Now, this is where the real question will come when we go whole hog on PPP. Now, PPP is a nice word, but when you say public-private partnership, who in public? Okay, many times public means some state government, some municipal government, some national housing or highway authority. There are 4 or 5 public agencies thrown into this. And then you have a private entity, and then you write a contract. Sometime, I am aware of Hindustan Construction Company. They built this Bombay Sea Link and then many other projects as well. L&T has also done a large number of projects. That money is stuck, which means at some stage you get 95% of the project cost, 5% is withheld, some fine print from the contract is brought out in the picture, and then the intergovernmental turf war erupts. Municipal corporation says that this was not my due, this was due of state government. State government says that no, this is funded from centrally funded scheme, and then the money just doesn't come. So we have to be very clear on PPP. There has to be one public agency. Contracts have to be written very, properly. Money has to be dispersed when the project is completed. So in PPP there are huge question marks, and all these are arising out of PPP. Your point is If there is no money to pay past dues, why are we talking big about the future infrastructure projects? I am with you, I have no answer for that. I have really no answer for that. So looks like this is only big talk of PPP, but past money has to come.
Commitments are there, those commitments should be honored by the government.
Many infrastructure companies almost are on the verge of defaulting on their debt because government is not paying them.
So with all this, I mean the confidence of the infrastructure companies also go down for the further development because they know that ultimately their previous backlogs are there and this new investment would also be turned out to be a backlog.
Currently, only stock market is bullish about infrastructure. Let's not run ahead of the timetable. Let an infrastructure company take up a 10,000 crore project and then we'll see whether the document speaks or not.
So we have our next question.
Yeah, sure.
So my question is related to microeconomic perspective. So as we spoke that savings rates has decreased from 35% to 30%. So I want to understand what's the bigger problem here. I mean, so I think it's good that people are consuming more, they are saving less.
What is the good?
Would be more money in the market, more.
Are you worried about the fall in the rate of savings?
Yes. No, sir, I am not. As we spoke that savings rate has been decreased from 35% to 30%. And as sir mentioned that it's not so good. So I want to understand why it is not that good.
No, many reasons, including inflation. You know, many people are not able to save. Inflation is also partly responsible for that. And that culture which developed over the years, with the onset of globalization, some kind of consumerism today. People spending more than what they are. Fortunately, we are not going too far in that direction. Professor Vinod Vyasulu delivered a keynote address in a seminar at our institute. He said the same thing. He's right. He was right. He said, our leaders have spoiled the country, but not to the fullest extent. Some basic threat is still there. That culture. I mean, Indian farmers were very particular about repaying debts. On account of loan waiver schemes, that repaying culture has been spoiled. Recovery culture is spoiled. So, variety of reasons for falling savings, including the way in which inflation is hitting them.
See, my take on this is like this. Growth requires investment. Investment needs to be funded, right? If it is not funded by domestic savings, it will be funded by foreign savings. So a combination of domestic savings and foreign savings, which means FDI and all other avenues of private capital from abroad. If those were completely available in a free and uninterrupted manner, then perhaps this 30% saving ratio would not hurt. But saving ratio limits your ability to invest in the absence of availability of foreign capital. If foreign capital is abundantly available, no issue. Foreign capital is not abundantly available. We have some hang-ups on foreign capital, and foreign capital comes on its own terms. So there is a problem of matching the requirements of foreign capital and what you can offer. So falling savings ratio hurts when investment is required in the country.
Sir, can you throw more light on SEZ? In the sense that SEZ, special economic zones, in the sense that lands which were allocated for SEZs, the projects really did not start in those zones. So, in this budget, is it giving optimistic signs?
There is a mention.
Optimism on SEZ.
Yeah, he wants to revive. He says, no specific proposal.
You can answer that?
No, I'm just referring to your point, your response to that. I have some other comment.
Yeah. Shall I complete this?
Yeah.
The government is committed to revive the special economic zones and make them effective instruments of industrial production, economic growth, export promotion and employment generation. For achieving this, effective steps would be undertaken to operationalize the special economic zones, to revive the investors' interest to develop better infrastructure, and to effectively and efficiently use the available unutilized land. Kind of, just like PPP model, a broad statement being made without any specific, policy direction. Like this, there are many other paras of the budget where, Gram Vikas, Kisan Vikas card, some announcements without financial commitment. Special economic zones involve a lot of public money to agree. And then, of course, he has an idea of reviving the special economic zones. In fact, ladies will be happy to know that special economic zones will be allotted exclusively for ladies. So be prepared.
One of the main reasons for the failure of SEZ is regarding the applicability of MAT. Now the whole concept of SEZ, these big industries were attracted with the sole reason that they wanted to shift their export business to SEZ. So that was their original plan. Hero Motors, then airlines company, everybody started having, so they are on SEZ. The major aim was not new business. The existing export business would have been shifted to SEZ area so that they get the full income tax benefit and other tax benefits. Now once the MAT was implemented, instead of paying 30% tax, you pay 18% tax. So there is no benefit in that. So that's why everybody stands still. There was no...
Union Ministry for Commerce has approached the Ministry for Finance for the withdrawal of MAT. Even in the present scenario, it is happening. The present Union Ministry for Commerce has also placed the demand before Arun Jaitley. Arun Jaitley has not withdrawn it in his budget.
I just felt that declining savings rate from 35 to 30% is not worrisome because saving is a leakage from the system. So the leakage from the system is reducing, it should not be worrisome for the economy because if the saving is reducing, consumption is increasing. Because saving is that income which is not consumed. So if consumption is increasing, our aggregate demand is increasing. If aggregate demand is increasing, everything will increase, but the GDP will increase. In other words, what I am trying to say is, and also we are witnessing the alarming inflation on account of not only on supply side constraint, but also on the enhancing aggregate demand. And we should not forget that our economy is driven not by investment, but by consumption. So I just felt that declining saving rates is not that much worrisome.
So you are looking at the whole thing from the Keynesian perspective.
One more thing they would like to add is regarding the savings rate, 35% to 30%, whatever it is, 5%, since last 10 years, what is happening is, people are investing more in real estate. So real estate involves black money.
Black money is the 30% of GDP.
No, that 5% difference is only due to that.
No, sir. These numbers are computed from what is disclosed.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, but so black money was in real estate all the time, from time immemorial.
This
Black
is the
money
macro
is in real estate.
picture.
Savings has been shifted from deposits and gold to
The relationship in this is where probably shifting to other assets like gold, which does not get captured in the aggregate savings data. As you rightly said, savings is actually derived as a residual figure. It's not estimated. National income accounting, consumption is estimated, savings is derived as a residual figure. But still the point remains that you need savings for investment,
And the system
and domestic savings
everything
are useful if foreign savings are not available.
If I can put a last question on the discussion today. So the changes in dividend distribution tax and the changes in capital gains, the reforms made in that, and the inclusion of non-equity funds into fixed maturity plans, have we not killed the arbitrage opportunity between the bank credits and the bonds and the bond funds? In that way, we are actually discouraging people to participate in bond market, which is already at all-time low in sense of participation. So there's no arbitrage opportunity, there's no encouragement to bond market we are seeing. So why these changes we have seen in capital gains to 36 months that have been extended?
The whole concept was totally different. There was only confusion of MAV. So that has been removed now. Regarding taxation of debt market mutual funds and this equity oriented mutual funds. It's totally different perspective. So equity mutual fund they are subjected to STT. So that's why no tax on the gains. So regarding debt market mutual funds, there is no concept of STT. So they get only interest income. It's taxable. So there is a confusion regarding whether these debt market mutual funds are also eligible for this and the 12-month benefit. So that confusion has been removed. That's all.
And that gets implemented from 2017.
Yes. No. From current year itself.
Thank you. So that was all for the panel discussion. I would like to invite Neha to give the thank you note. Thank you.
We have just concluded a very informative and insightful manthan on the budget 2014. I thank the Finance Forum for giving me the honor to convey vote of thanks. I, on behalf of the Finance Forum, and on my own behalf, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. G.V. Joshi for taking time out from his busy schedule and enlightening us on budget 2014. Thank you so much. I would also like to extend my gratitude to Professor Avinash for his valuable macroeconomic perspective I extend my heartiest gratitude to CA Y. Ganesh for his enlightenment and taxation perspective. I'm grateful to Dr. R.C. Ragarajan, Director TAPMI, for his incessant support throughout the event. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Professor Madhuvina Rakwan for his guidance and unparalleled support, without which Manthan would not have been possible. Thank you so much. I would like to extend my wholehearted thanks to Professor Vinod Madhavan for his uninterrupted permissions for holding the event. I wish to extend thanks to Professor Chaudhary Prasad sir for his able advice and suggestions. I extend my thankfulness to Professor Prashant Yadgiri sir for his great support and guidance. I would also like to extend my gratitude to Ms. Vishali Bhatt for her support in making this event a great success. I now thank all the faculty members, including those who are not present due to their other engagements. Manthan would not have been complete without thanking all the administrations on TAPMI, IT, logistics, and all the security and support staff. Last but not the least, my humble gratitude to all the students present here and those who are not because of their deadlines and schedules. Your active participation is highly appreciated. Finally, I would like to extend my special gratitude to Ms. Kalyani Sheshadri and Mr. Neil Kamal for their last minute support and help. Thank you one and all. I would now request Professor Chaudhary Prasad to extend the mementos to the esteemed guests.